Okay, so hello everybody. Let's get the show on the road. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through. I'm wrapping up the response for this revise and resubmit. So something that I think is like super important when you're doing this, when you're preparing a response to revise and resubmit, is to take into account confidence. We all know the stories about like writers. Let me put myself here. So we all know the stories about writers' procrastination, right? And the joke that if you want to see a clean apartment, you should visit a writer, right? Because we basically clean things up in preparation. So what I do, because I obviously, I still struggle with that. So what I do is basically I divide the process in as many steps, in several steps. And that is on one hand because, I'm not like answering the final letter. It's not like, because procrastination is about lack of confidence, right? So you're not like, oh my God, this is the real deal, it's answering the final letter. So I'm just like do steps. And also because, you might remember there's a video on this channel about how to publish when you're not a genius. And, and in that video, obviously, I explain how I am not a genius. And so I found that I need to be with the material multiple times so that I have multiple opportunities to think, so I don't write stupid stuff. Anyways, so what I did is, so far is, I picked up a bunch of pieces to review, okay? So a bunch of papers. So here's on my Bootcamps, okay? So basically, I read this whole thing, like literally, until here. This is all new papers that I read. So I read all of this. I really enjoy like this software that I use, Bootcamps. I hate EndNote and I hate Zotero. So this software I use for called Bootcamps has this really cool feature that it allows you to sort of like color code papers, and so so that really helps me like basically red is critical, green is useful, blue is useless. Okay. In respect to other authors, I use blue as it wasn't useful. Okay, and I say not useful, not that it's a crappy paper. Anyway, so I read all this, took notes, right? It's important to take notes. That's how it counts as writing. I am writing, so although I'm reading, look at the notes, I'm reading, but I'm also writing, thinking, producing text. Some of this is copy-pasted from papers. The rest is not, is me thinking through the papers. And so I did that, okay? So I have a bunch of notes from papers, blah, 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 okay? Now, what do I have here? Okay. So, after doing all of this, okay, so you see, I take extensive notes. I mean, it's a revise or resubmit decision, it's important, right? So, I did a summary of these notes, okay, by topic. So training effect on retention, performance, and leaders in training, okay? That's what I did. And now what I'm doing is, I came up with this idea of splitting literature that basically shows that my research is novel, okay? And research that shows that my research is not novel, not that it's been done before, but in the sense that there's a lot of background and discussion that I'm part of an ongoing conversation. So I was doing that yesterday, and I was like super tired. So we're going to do this today as well. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be here, nice and quiet, for some time, and work on this. Eventually, I may, I occasionally do comments, obviously, like, so that this is not a profoundly boring stream. I occasionally I occasionally make comments. So let me pick it up, and obviously everybody feel free to, if you have questions as I am working on this, just feel free to ask questions. Okay, but so here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the summary of the reading notes, and we're going to see, okay, what is new, right, and what is there already. Okay, and the reason I'm doing this is because my reviewers told me what you're saying is not new, and I'm like, why are you talking about that? What I'm saying is not new. Of course, what I'm saying is new. So what I'm saying is that leaders can tap on people's intrinsic need for self-development. Actually, not intrinsic need for self-development. When people want self-development, they're doing something because they want to acquire mastery at a specific task, like we are all in academia because we want to acquire mastery as writers, right? Then we do. Then that can be used for motivation. So let me just pull up the stream here. So if there are any questions, I know. Okay. Dismiss. Okay. Good. Okay. There we go. Now, if you chat, I see you, and I see that we have one viewer. So I want to say thank you very much for joining me on the writing, and hope you're writing as well or thinking about writing. So let's go. Okay. So I've done everything up to 4, but because I was like super tired yesterday, I just want to check it out again. And sometimes, even when I'm super tired, I'll push through writing, because there's this advice of write drunk, edit sober. I don't like to be drunk, so I write sleepy, edit awake. So anyway, so I push through because, maybe there are less defenses, cognitive defenses when you're asleep, and I don't know. I mean, it does happen. So let's go through this. So first point is the relationship between training and retention. This is an important relationship in my paper because I say that the acquisition of skill leads to retention. Okay. Now, I made a note. This is like, okay, so it's important. This is the sleep is a good thing. So I made a note because I just thought, I'm like falling down into this rabbit hole with his reviewers where they say that my paper is about training, but my paper is not about training. My paper is about mastering a skill. In my case, it's singing. It's a paper on amateur choir leaders. So if it is mastering a skill, then I just need to go back to the literature and just see if there's a difference between, if there is literature on like sort of like skill mastery and leadership and so on, rather than training. But, you also need to be smart and not like tell reviewers you don't know what you're talking about. So, if training allows me to make my point, I'll just use training and mention that not all training is about mastery, although some training may be. Okay? Oh, there you go. So let's get down to business. So I made that note here yesterday, so you can see research on retention talks about training, but training is different from mastery. Can I find a good distinction between the two? So that's a good thought. Good job, Sleepy Joao. Okay, so this is an idea that I have here, that training affects retention, yes, but what is new in my research is that it's about mastery and not future career. Okay, then there's this PID on social exchange. So this, I think I put it here. Yeah, training matter for retention. Okay. So I'm just going to make this note here. And notice like a good thing of of taking notes and sometimes copying verbatim quotes from papers is that you have the quotes that you want to put on your paper. Guys, let me just like quickly put you on hold super quick. I just need to get the charger for my phone, okay? I'll be right back. Let me open Streamlabs here. I'll just like literally 3 seconds, okay? I'll be right back. I'm connecting the cable. Almost there with you guys. Good. There we go. Sorry guys, sorry. I'll be right with you. Right there, you hear the phone charging. And we are ready to get back to some writing. So let's get back to some writing. Where are we guys? So I'll put the slide and camera. There you go. Hello again, guys. And we are going to go to Twitch and see. Thanks for staying, single viewer of the stream. Okay, so this is good. Okay, career opportunities we have there. I can actually like, well, I won't copy this code there because otherwise it will be too cluttered. And this, yeah, I need this quote. I want here just to make sure that I know what's going on. Employees for given opportunity skills or competencies are expected to have allowed because they have more control over the employability. Exactly. So that is here, right? So training affects retention through future career employability. Good. Okay, so this is also interesting. It's about effective commitment. So I'll put it here as a subpoint. So I'll just put it here because I want to remember that that it is effective commitment. That's super important. Oops. That it is effective commitment. Why? Because if you're acquiring mastery, it's not about you're being effectively bonding with the organization. It's about what the organization does for you, right? So I want to have it there. Now retention. Okay. Retention. I'm going to highlight this because again, yesterday, if you're sleepy, obviously if you're tired, like rest, right? And if I feel like really sleepy, I'll like literally take a 30-minute nap. It's better, right? I mean, so anyway, but again, yesterday I got this idea when I was sleepy that if I look at existing research, I'm basically sort of like flipping the variables. So in my model, leadership is a mediator, whereas in the existing literature, it is task motivation is mediator. So I'm flipping, and basically what I'm doing is I'm just gathering things to make a decision about how I'm going to approach the paper. as I told you, I like to do this in steps. So my next step is actually about responding to the review letter, in an outline, right? Outline response to review letter, but instead of like going and fully writing the paper, because then writing the paper is like easy, right? I've done everything. I'm just typing, sometimes even just copy pasting, right? And this is important. For me, it's important because, again, procrastination is about confidence, right? The last thing that you do is working on the paper, because then you won't feel uncomfortable. You won't feel, okay, this is not for real. It will be for real, but you've done your outline, you responded to reviewers, you're just doing the thing, right? Sorry, my phone seems to be disconnected. Okay, disconnected. Good. Crap, my phone keeps getting disconnected. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, it's you in the back. Anyway, see my point? So basically what we need is we need to trick ourselves into, we're not really writing the paper. We're just outlining or reading, and then when it's time to write, it's surprise, it's already written, right? That's the idea. That's the idea, right? I mean, do not fight lack of confidence. Do not push through like a hero, right? I mean, that's horrible for mental health, right? If you need to deal with lack of confidence, then it's important to deal with its causes, not with symptoms, While you're dealing with its causes and you still have symptoms, then, just work around them, work with them, right? Do the little steps so that you don't feel, oh my God, this is the final version of the paper, I'm going to screw up. No, I'm just summarizing the summary. It's okay. And that is why, I use this font. Times New Roman is the real deal. Times New Roman is the paper, right? This font, the typewriter, for me is a drafty font. It's not real. I'm not really working on the paper, right? This is so important, that we take care of our mental health, and and that we are able to work around it, not like hustle through, because that's violence upon us, right? Be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, see how you can find ways around your lack of confidence. It's the font, it's the steps, you can do it. Okay, so where were we? Good. Okay, so I'm going to add this as well, because this is important, where I show the value of my research, right? We're going to be here for an hour, 15 minutes, then my Uber Eats is coming and trying to support local restaurants. I'm trying to support local restaurants, so I'm, it's actually, oh no, they're going to pick up my order, okay. So I'm trying to support local restaurants, so I'm, I tend to, every other day, I tend to get an order from Uber Eats, so that, in this time where restaurants are closed and they're not making any money, I'm doing my part a little bit to help, because fortunately my job, at least so far, is okay. This transformational, and transactional leadership. It is something new in my job. I'm going to put okay. So this, I don't know. I mean, something that you need to keep in mind is that you're not invoking too many theories in the paper. So yeah. So I'm not sure about this, but I keep it. Okay, this I already have. I'm going to copy this and put it on put it here. Okay, I'm just going to all of these points and okay, social change, I already have it. Okay. This I already have as well. Okay, so that is done. So overall, this what I feel is like what I'm you're doing is like almost like carving a statue out of a marble block, and like first you take the big blocks and then you take the sort of like medium big blocks and the medium small blocks and then sort of fine tuning. So now I'll say we're taking out the medium big blocks. Then when we respond to reviewers, we'll be taking the medium small blocks, and then when you're writing the paper, it's there now. There's something that I really like about this static metaphor, which is the idea that the paper is there, right? I was watching this. I don't know. I watched this on a YouTube video, I think, the other day, where basically said that to do the statue of an elephant, you basically pick up a big block of stone and take out everything that is not the elephant. I like that way of thinking about a paper. This idea that the paper is already there. I'm just discovering it. The paper is there. Yeah, the contribution is there. So there used to be, I remember reading something in philosophy about this, like there's this world of ideas where everything pre-exists, and then and then you just discover it, and that's I like to think about papers like that. Just take out everything that's not the elephant. Now, this is not super important that the retention and performance don't appear in cross-referenced. The reason is that in the original version of the paper, I look at the literature that does discuss performance and retention together, but reviewers wanted me to look at the literature that discusses performance on its own and retention on its own, and obviously I did, and surprise, surprise, there's nothing there. Okay. This I'll add here as well. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so we've done everything. The notes are here. So I'll tell you what, my dear friends. Oh, forget it. I was going to say my food's almost here, but it isn't. So let's go. Okay, so what am I doing? Oh, okay. There we go. So we have this here. Okay. So what are the key ideas? Let's highlight the key ideas. The key ideas is are that one, training is not done by managers. Okay. Second, training is not a performance practice. That's important. Third, this is important. Okay. So we begin to have like an outline of the paper where, we're basically talking about management provided training. That's the key. Okay. How that affects retention through mastery. Okay. Management provided training through mastery. Okay. Now this is important, but it's for the framing, so retention and performance. Okay, that's fine. Performance and retention. That's the original point of the paper, right? So we're fine. Okay, I can add this. No. Yeah. Okay, this is part of a novelty. Okay. And okay. So here's what we learned. Okay. Now there's a bunch of things here that are important for the revision. Again, like things that are reviews. Oh, there you go. I can become famous. Things that are reviews. I just got some spam on the chat asking if I want to become famous and buy followers and viewers. I guess not, my dude. My robotic dude. I don't want to become famous. I just want to help people write better. So, there's a bunch of things here that are important, but the key part is that I'm explaining how managers train to improve mastery and how that affects retention. Okay? That's what I do. Now, an interesting idea here that this is concurrent with retention. Okay, good. So, basically, this is what we have. This is what is new. This is what I discovered from the reading. That the view of the literature is that training is not something that managers do, and training is something that is done outside of mostly outside of work. Here it's managers that train, and that train for mastery rather than improve people's career chances. Okay, so if I wanted to say, okay, here's the current model, here's the previous model, is that if we have a triangle where you have skill development, okay? Skill development, performance and retention. It's basically, organizations do skill development. This improves retention because of future career. This improves performance because people have skills. And leaders are, sort of like mediating this process, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm saying, look, this is what leaders are doing. Now, what is novel and really interesting here is that this is a process of mastery driven by internal motivations rather than a process of skill acquisition driven by career goals. Okay, so it's an alternative process for to ensure retention and performance at the same time. Okay, so I'll leave it at that for now. Hopefully my food will come. Hope everybody has a nice day, and thanks so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay? Thanks so much, everybody.